All right. Welcome back to Bring the Juice. We are back home in the home studio today. Today we got Fresno State baseball on the pod.
First we gonna rock, then we gonna fold, then we let it pop, don't let it go.
I got Tommy Hopfe and I got Murf Gray. Fellas, welcome to Bring the Juice. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I mean, the vibes are definitely up. I've yet to have current Fresno State baseball players on the pod, so this is actually a revolution in some way, shape, and form. The first of the first, and I think we just dive right into it. We were just chopping it up before the pod. We'll get into you guys' career. Breaking news, I guess when this drops, it won't be that breaking, but Nick Saban is retired from college football. I know you guys are baseball guys, but you respect the craft of Nick Saban, of course. Yeah. Tommy, what's your first initial thoughts when you saw that on Twitter today?
I mean, it's kind of just shocking. He's the GOAT, the best to do it. So it's speechless. Like, you don't really know what to say about it. I don't know. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Murph?
Well, seeing all those rings he won, I was like, yeah, maybe it's time to retire. But, like, for the most part, it's like, why are you retiring? Like, keep going, keep pushing, get more. I know he wants more.
I know everyone was saying, like, age is becoming a factor. I don't think for Saban, age is necessarily a factor right now. I think the game is changing itself. Obviously, transfer portal's blasting off as the Wild West, and NIL has kind of changed the way people are recruited. And I think the loyalty to those programs is a little diluted in certain ways, shape, and forms, at least for football right now in, like, SEC country, Mm-hmm. And I don't think Saban likes it. So maybe it's a step back. I thought he would not finish, though, on a losing
That's
note.
what I was going to say. Like, losing to Michigan, especially the way they lost, I don't know how you go out that way.
Which makes me just think, like, this isn't the end of Saban.
I don't think so.
And he's, 3 wins away from 300, right?
I have no
Something
idea.
Like
I got to fact check that. I got no idea. Murph, you're speaking to me now, man.
It's close. Yeah.
It's close.
I read it. I think it's close to
If you read it, I trust it. But I think that he is in the position where he's going to go on his lake house. He's going to find his vacation home for probably for at least a year, maybe 2. And he's going to recharge his batteries a little bit. He might get a call from one of his peers like Bill Belichick, perhaps a Jim Harbaugh. One of the old school, I don't want to call them dinosaurs, but one of the old school OGs of college football or just football in general, and might say, "Hey, let's just do a 1-year contract with like the Chargers, the Browns, the Panthers, and let's just try to go win a Super Bowl real quick. Let's just see how it goes." No,
I don't know.
Is that that's a hot take. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. That's what we do, though. We don't have. I'm not here to talk about everyone else's what Saban can do. I think it's a hot take. I think it's going to be 2026, and this episode's going to resurface while you guys are playing in the MLB somewhere, and they'll be like, "Fucking Bring the Juice episode, bro." They thought of that shit. But no, I mean, it's definitely in any sport. It reminds me of the what was it? The Duke coach that retired in basketball last year, Coach K. I mean, you don't even have to be a basketball fan. Legends are legends at the end of the day.
Not wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, let's get into it. Mike Batesall retired. The Bates, he's gone. You were recruited by Bates out of the gate.
I was recruited by Overland.
Or
Bates was the head guy when I was going.
Bates was the head guy.
Yeah.
Well, still under his realm
for
then.
sure. Yeah.
And Fresno State has this very rich bloodline of they don't switch coaches every other year like other programs around the country. They've had only a few over the last couple decades. What was it like hearing he was going to be out as the head honcho, in the locker room?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a big shock to us. When we came back from the fall, Overland was already running the show from the get-go with like all the team meetings, everything going down, kind of the introduction to all the guys coming in. So when we got the Zoom call from him.
It was a Zoom call.
It was a Zoom call. During Christmas break, it wasn't like anything shocking. Like we all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. So I would say it was still the same in the locker room. It was just like we all were basically behind Over already.
Right.
So once he got it, we weren't surprised. And then once he got the job officially after the interim season, just kind of got to roll with him.
Right. Were you guys happy he got the gig?
I was extremely happy.
Yeah.
Super happy.
Yeah.
Great dude. And if he wasn't there, I probably wouldn't be there. Still.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Murph, you came in and he was the head honcho at that point then.
So Bates was still there, but like you said, Ove was pretty much running the show.
Okay.
So in my mind, I was thinking Ove could take over, and then when we had the final meeting with Bates, I was like, yeah, so Ove's taking over. I was happy about it. Not too mad.
Yeah. Being a recruit, do you think, I think Fresno State, and I'm not going to put words in you guys' mouth, that's my next question. It's such a rich program of history as a school, but especially baseball.
Sure, yeah.
And I've had a few dudes that played there on the pod, and, like, obviously you got the 2008 Natty. Like, is that still hold weight as a player there where you're chasing the next one, knowing that, hey, this has been done not in 1972 by, Joe DiMaggio's cousin. This was done recent while you guys have been alive.
I mean, it just shows that it's possible. Yeah,
right.
It was Cinderella's story, but I mean, why not us?
Why
we
not
also
us?
go and do the same thing.
I think it makes us want to like fight more to get there.
Right.
Just since it already happened, why not do it again?
When you set goals at the beginning of the season, what's your guys' credo? What is the goal for the Fresno State baseball program?
I mean, I would say me as a regional. I mean, I've been there for 3 years now. Going into my 4th year, I've yet to go to a regional. So I would say for sure a regional, but you got to start first. I mean, you got to win a series, obviously, but
yeah.
I mean, at least you got to win the conference.
Right.
I haven't been able to do that. Come up short.
Yeah.
Last year was extremely short. Like, we got there, you just couldn't secure it. So I would say for sure the conference, but main goal I'd say is a regional. I want to go to a regional.
Right.
And for me, it'd be like winning the conference, but like even more so like going to a regional, making a super, things like that. Just going forward, but I think it all starts with us like winning series. So
like anything, you got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time.
Yeah.
It's much easier said than done. It's hard to win games at the Division I level, and I think people they lose a little bit of sight to that, and it gets diluted, especially now with like everyone could tweet something and it's like, oh, is this a credible source? Is this really how people feel about it? And it's not 100% accurate. Like there's a bunch of wish-wash hoopla on the internet that could change people's perspectives, but like the national championship just happened. People are like, oh, Washington's not that good. You're like, dude, these guys won 14 football games.
Yeah, I mean, they went 14-1.
They went 14-1. They lost to a really good, hungry Michigan team. Quarterback was for sure banged up by the end of that game.
Yeah, for sure.
He's pissing blood right now, I guarantee it. And he's a dog. If I'm an NFL GM, I'm like, hey, that might be the dude right now.
He's just old though. He's really old. He's an absolute dog though.
Again,
he's a dog.
What is age?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
What is age?
You're not wrong.
All it takes is a couple good years.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we talked about a little bit, okay, your expectations going into the season. Murf, let's start with you. You're from Madera South. You had a breakout freshman year. Why? And you guys are both the Valley dudes. So let's take one step back. When you grow up in the Valley and you say, I'm going to commit to playing baseball as my sport, and I want to pursue that collegiately, hoping to go into the major league someday, the show, are you directed towards Fresno State, or is that not really a thing?
I would definitely say you're not directed more towards a school, but like Fresno State, given its like tradition and history, like building up players and like what they've done as a program, I'd say you want to go to Fresno State.
Right.
And like especially for me, living in the Valley, it made me want to go there even more.
Family could come watch you much easier.
Family comes down to watch, uncles, cousins, grandma, brothers, everybody, and then it's close to home. So I go back home like every other weekend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy? Why'd you come to Fresno State?
I mean, I didn't want to be in Bakersfield. I wanted to leave the state. That was my biggest goal. But then it came down to it where, I mean, obviously Overland. I wanted to be around Overland, and that was kind of my guy. So it made that an easy decision because of that. And it was the second closest place from home. And I made sure I didn't want to go to CSUB. Kind of did not want to do that. I thought it was better than that. So, and then just the rich tradition. I mean, they put out an abundance amount of people into the show.
Right.
Guys are getting drafted every year. So it's just kind of seems like a quick gateway to, get to where you want to go.
I like it.
Yeah, well said.
Well said. So, Tommy, let's just and Murf, I read your bio a little bit today, and Tommy, I understand you still pitch as well as doing other things. Murf, I understand you pitched in high school though as well.
I used to sling it a little bit.
Sling that pill. I like it. Did you, when you're a pitcher in high school, but also do other things, what makes you say, I'm going to step away from pitching and pursue a different position at the collegiate level if you're a stud in high school?
Well, for me, I didn't throw too hard, so I was throwing
Okay.
like 86, 87.
Yeah.
I think I hit 90 maybe one time.
Yeah.
So from there, I was just like, well, I don't throw that hard, so I'm not going to pitch in college. And then just like keeping your body good enough to pitch and play the field, like it's pretty tense. Like you got to like take extra care of your arm, make sure you're stretching, all these other things that, you got to be on top of. So
Right.
I just didn't think it'd be the greatest for me.
When you say taking care of your arm, you guys referring to like treatment in that sense?
Yeah,
or,
just
or
treatment,
strengthening the
like-
little muscles? Or give our viewers a little more detail.
Pretty much all of that, like making sure your arm is strong, taking care of it, icing it down, or whatever you do recovery-wise so that you're feeling good the next day. Yeah, pretty much.
Now, Tommy, you said I'm going to take care of myself, and you're still doing the whole damn thing. You're a rare breed at this point. What made you decide, hey, I'm out at Fresno State, and I'm going to do it all?
I mean, I didn't decide it. I mean, I went in there as a hitter.
Okay.
And then my freshman year, our pitching was really bad.
Did you pitch in high school, though?
Yeah, I
Okay,
pitched,
okay.
but when I committed to Fresno, I came as a two-way, but I was a hitter.
Okay.
And then I didn't hit really well at the beginning. Had a short, not a lot of time in the spring. We didn't have a fall that year because of COVID. So I mean, the season wasn't going good that year, and they needed more arms. So it was like halfway. It was like the halfway point, and they were like, "Hey, we need you to throw." And I wasn't officially redshirting, but I was for sure redshirting. I wasn't traveling, so they started throwing through like, I don't know, 13 innings maybe my freshman year, and then it just kind of just blossomed from there, where I kind of put more time into pitching, and then they let me hit my sophomore year, and it kind of just blended together, and they just started to let me two-way.
And that's a rare breed, though. I think people don't understand pitching and hitting doesn't really go hand in hand. Now,
It's hard for sure.
Ohtani, he's kind of changed the game a little bit on some things. I
He's
feel
also different.
he's
That
also
guy's-
different.
Yeah,
He's
that guy's
also
something
different.
else.
But do you see Ohtani as a motivation now for you?
For
the
sure.
fact that you're doing both pitching and hitting.
I would say it just gives you the opportunity. Like, you just know there's an opportunity to do it. Someone else
Right.
is out there having major success, so I would say there's a way better opportunity to me being able to go and do both of them at a higher level.
He's definitely having major success.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best
Major.
at both of them.
He just broke the internet basically with the deal he signed. That's a lot of money.
Especially the way they mapped it out, too, which
Ah,
also broke the internet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which did he do that, you think, so that they had the funds to get a team to win a couple championships
Yeah,
the
that's
first
what they
couple
were
of years?
saying.
For
That's why I
sure.
did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think him being with the Angels and not winning, I think he wants to go get a World Series, so I think it was cool with it.
Well, you listened to other pros get interviewed about their careers, and I think Randy Moss said something. Spock over here played. Did you play with Randy Moss? Yeah, he played with Randy Moss. Sorry, I had to get a fact check real quick. But I think guys hit a point in their career where, like, they've made enough money and they're like, okay, I want to go win. I want to go win a championship at this point. You don't want to be on a crappy team your entire career
Yeah, for
and make
sure.
a boatload of money. Like, that's great, but realistically, at the inner competitor, and you want to win championships. And I'm not really a Dodgers guy per se, but they're in a position where if they don't win a championship,
It's a bust.
Yeah.
it's a
Mega
bust.
bust.
It might be one of the biggest busts in sports if they
for
don't
sure.
win a championship.
Especially bringing in Yamamoto, too. And that guy got paid.
They just print money.
Yeah, it's
They got a
crazy.
printing machine in the
They
LA
got $1 billion
freaking
between two
basements.
guys.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So Ohtani's a motivation. And let's discuss real quick too, how much of a unicorn he really is. Because
It's crazy.
nobody's ever done both at that extent. There was rumors Babe Ruth did that?
Babe Ruth, but he
did
was more of
both,
a
but
hitter.
He didn't throw as hard, and he wasn't as effective as a starter.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Ohtani's the best to ever do it. They compare
Bet-
Babe Ruth to it. I think he's better.
Ohtani is the best baseball player ever.
I don't know. Ooh,
Whoa.
how about that? I mean, it's
Lot
not
of
been
deep
long
breaths.
enough. It
Lot of
hasn't
deep
been
breaths.
long enough. I don't think it's been long enough.
It hasn't been long enough, but given his stats, he throws 100,
Okay.
bats close to 300, can hit the ball hard, hit the ball far. I think he does it all. Only thing we haven't seen is his defense. He only pitches, so
We haven't seen him win a championship yet either.
that too. So
And how much do you judge a player's success off their championships? At least to an extent.
to an extent,
For
yeah.
sure.
To an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan Marino wasn't our era of watching football necessarily, but everyone who watched Dan Marino was like, this guy was insane. He
I mean,
was
he's
so
the greatest
good.
quarterback to never win a Super Bowl.
Do you want to have that stat? You're the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. Maybe he was just as mechanically built or savvy as Aaron Rodgers or don't even want to say Tom Brady because that's disrespectful to Tom Brady for winning 7 championships at this point. But like, let's say he's for pass to pass and run to run and football IQ to football IQ, he's just as good as Tom Brady, for example. He is not on Tom Brady's level. He did not win 7 Super Bowls.
Not even one.
So if Ohtani doesn't win some rings here, I mean, is he even in the conversation with Babe Ruth?
I think he's still in that conversation, but as far as like, if you individualize it, so like go hitter for hitter or pitcher for pitcher, he might be in that conversation.
I don't know. In let's say 50 years, okay, we're like 80 or 70 or something like that, and we got grandkids asking, "Hey, who's the best baseball player of all time?" If Ohtani doesn't have multiple rings,
what about MVPs though? What if he goes and wins like 8 MVPs?
Yeah,
fair.
That's gonna change that.
How many's he got right now?
I think he's got 2, and then he got second another one. So.
How old is he? You don't get anything for second.
He's probably like 26, 27, somewhere in there.
Yeah, he's doing good. So he's got at least at least 13 years.
I mean, but is he going to be doing both of them though? That's the thing.
Sustainability is huge in sports.
I mean, he's on his second Tommy John, so is the pitching part going to keep going? Who knows?
That's something that we don't talk about in sports enough. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Injuries, they create different opportunities in sports. When you're the one injured, it is the worst thing on planet Earth because you put your whole life into it. Excuse me. Your whole life into it. And now you're on the sidelines watching some other dude take your reps, take your spot, doing all these things. It's tough mentally, physically. Rehab is very difficult. If you're a pitcher, like you said, like it's not like you got a deep contusion in your thigh. You could just kind of toughen it out. It's like, dude, if you can't throw, you can't throw. It's kind of you either can or you can't. But I could see Ohtani, battling some things. And hey, today is modern medicine. There's a lot going on now, man.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I think they paid him enough. I think they paid him as much as they did because he is a 2-for-1 between pitcher and hitter.
For sure.
So I'm sure someone in the front office of the Los Angeles Dodgers said, we actually got this guy at discount instead of having to pay for a Hall of Fame pitcher that would have cost us. What's the highest paid pitcher in the league right now?
Probably Garrett Cole.
What's Garrett Cole making a year?
Probably close to 40.
Okay, so let's say what's he at? Let's say he signs a 10-year, $40 million a year deal. So that's a $400 million deal. What's the best hitter in the game right now besides Ohtani?
Acuna. I mean, he just won an MVP.
Sure.
What's he getting paid?
He's cheap though. They got him cheap. I don't know.
All right, so let's call it 40. Let's just call it 40 again, just for easy math. That's an $800 million deal if they sign them each for 10 years. Well, they got Ohtani for what? 700, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's $100 million.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
For sure.
And they got him. What they get him for? 13, 12, something like that.
I don't remember the years.
Whatever. It's a shit ton of money, and
Sure.
I think they doubled down. They did what the Rams did a couple years ago. They're like, we're gonna go win a World Series right now. And you win a few, you string a few. The GM looks like a genius. Ohtani's got those notches under his belt. It's a cool little scenario that might build up right now.
Sure.
I think it's good. People say, oh, it's not good for baseball. Dude, sports are changing right in front of our eyes. Right in front of our eyes. And you can't judge one deal to change the entire industry of the game necessarily. But I wanted to talk about how much Ohtani's a unicorn. What would make... Is there a stage up where like Ohtani could be topped necessarily? Pitcher?
No. I mean, he's doing both of them at the best. I mean, I don't think there's a...
What if he pitched with both arms?
Oh,
I mean, there's guys... I don't know.
Yeah, ambidextrous.
That would kind of...
I mean, I guess.
That would.
Is he a lefty?
Right.
Bats
Maybe
lefty,
maybe
though.
he threw both
He
arms.
bats lefty?
Yeah.
Switch hit, too. You could add that in
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Switch.
Switch hitting, switch thrower.
So only way someone could top him if they were switch hitting and pitched with both arms.
Yeah.
And ran like a
6'2".
6'2", exactly.
6'3".
I don't think
Hey,
it's happening.
so you're saying there's somebody
I guess.
out there. It might
sure.
happen. That's crazy. What is the biggest? Speaking of like unicorns of sports, what is the ultimate, dual threat significance of athletics? Like, I saw a kid who is a ambidextrous quarterback. And if he rolls out right, he throws with his dominant hand. If he rolls out left, he throws with his dominant hand for the side he's going based off his like hips and all and whatnot. And you never know exactly what arm he's going to throw with, and that affects the defense in some way. I think it's kind of a little bit BS, but I don't know. Is that good? Is that cool? A left-handed and right-handed shooter in basketball, does that matter? Not really.
There's a left-handed and right-handed pitcher at
Mississippi State. He's like 96 from the right side and like 92 from the left side.
I couldn't imagine having that much accuracy on both arms.
For sure. I mean, you can go CG too. You can throw as many pitches as you want.
Yeah, he can throw 2 games. He can throw Friday and Saturday.
Essentially, yeah.
Is he good enough?
I mean, he goes to Mississippi State.
He did it before, yeah.
So if you're in the position now of – so baseball is probably the – I mean, what else? Golf? Not really. Basketball? No. Hockey? Maybe if you have like deformed shoulders in hockey or something like that as a goalie. I don't know, man. I don't know. What about 6 fingers in baseball? Advantage? More spin?
I would say you can slow the ball down better. I wouldn't say so much about like the spin part, but if you have 6 fingers, I mean, I don't know. Say you start 95, you could slow the ball down way more. You have another finger to add.
So would you rather have 6 fingers in baseball or 4 fingers in baseball? Yeah, that's a stupid question. Damn.
I don't even know if you could throw a ball with 4 fingers.
Oh, you could throw a ball with 2 fingers if you had to.
I mean, not
these 3.
I can't control the ball with 4.
True.
What finger am I losing? Am I losing my thumb?
No, fuck. You gotta keep your thumb. You're screwed. You're screwed. No,
so it's just these 4.
Yeah,
actually, somebody said the 2 fingers you need more than anything are your pinky and your thumb. Although I would personally probably take my index finger and my thumb. I would think.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Everyone says that's a myth. I don't know. It's on the internet. Who knows? So, with your guys' upcoming baseball season ahead, and the state of college sports right now, we kind of brushed on NIL a little bit. I talked to guys on the football team, both here, other schools, guys who are playing in the pros now, about like how college football's changed between both the transfer portal and NIL. As baseball players, what are you guys seeing NIL wise? Do you guys get people approaching you for deals? Do you guys have somebody within like the Fresno State program that is pushing you to get paid a stipend a month? Like, how does that work from a baseball perspective?
No.
Really?
No,
not really.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, maybe like a small one here and there, but the here and there is
like maybe a pop-up
once a
event.
month.
Yeah, like the sports cards thing.
Yeah, like
something like that.
Sure.
That's like
but
the max.
it's not often.
Really?
Yeah.
At other schools, I mean, you guys know guys who play other places,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Is there any schools like creating traction through NIL in the baseball realm?
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Elaborate? Texas A&M. Like, what do you?
Just because like I guess down that way there's more money out there, so they got more money to give.
Yeah.
And baseball is like more popular out there too, so they get more money.
Wow. So if you're, because there's also not a lot of full scholarships at Fresno State for baseball necessarily. So what does? I mean, I know guys at like, I'm not going to name the school because everyone will know who told me it, but like I know an SEC school where basically everyone on the team for football is getting paid like $7,000 a month. It doesn't matter if you're a starter or the last string.
That's crazy.
You're getting $7,000 a month, and if you're in state, you get paid $100,000 to stay at this in-state institution.
That's insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I know dudes.
I could only dream for that.
Again, I got brothers playing football. It's like, dude, they would love $300 and a gift card to
Chipotle or something.
That's what I'm saying, bro. To like
Doghouse.
they'll go to sign autographs at an event or whatever. Like, we're not asking for much here as athletes in Fresno, but I think there's such a good community here, and the Valley's such a unique place where there is small businesses, business owners that are involved in Fresno State and the Valley that support or sports programs that could get more involved. And guys like yourself, like Murf and Tommy, sitting here on Bring the Juice, and they're like, hey, hit us up, bro. Like, you went to where we meet, Southpaw Sports Cards is where we met. I don't know what they paid you or if they paid you at all, but like they came, you guys signed some autographs, shook some hands, kissed some babies. It took 3 hours out of your day, 2 hours out of your day. You're happy to do it. People could kind of see, shake a hand, take a picture with you, put a face to a name. So when they're going to watch you guys hit dingers at, Fresno State this year,
Yep.
but hey, I know this dude. He's a cool dude, right? I think there's so many opportunities like that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys, my brothers play, I talk to dudes constantly on the teams where you don't want to be a distraction and you don't want NIL to become a distraction. But at the same time, you're at that 18 to 22-year-old stage of life where, like, everyone around you is Texas A&M guys are getting paid and stuff. I don't need to get paid, but you want to capitalize on all opportunities given to you.
Yeah, of course.
So if you guys had to pick any, just let's just spitball some companies right now that you would want an NIL deal to approach you with. Any companies, what would it be? Murf, what do you got? What do you got for me? Give me something. Give me something hot.
Are we talking like food wise or just like brand or?
The world is your oyster.
If I go food wise, I'm going like a teppanyaki spot.
Ooh.
For sure. I like teppanyaki, so
I love teppanyaki.
that'd be cool.
Are you a fried rice guy?
Big bacon fried rice.
Big bacon fried rice guy.
Uh-huh.
Double
bacon fried rice, hot and spicy, and teriyaki chicken.
If it ain't hot and spicy, I can't eat the fried rice.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. That's
But
a
yeah,
Fresno
I'm
thing. Do you
saying.
guys know that?
Teppanyaki?
Hot and spicy and
Or hot
teppanyaki.
spicy. Yeah, I heard it's a Fresno thing.
Dude, you go to other places, they have like Benihana
Mm-hmm.
and like some place called like Teriyaki Grill or something. Yeah, it. Put it this way, you don't see a lot of one-time restaurants. You see a bunch of chains everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think Fresno's got like, who's got the best fried rice. That's how I gauge how good the teppanyaki is at least. All right, so teppanyaki spot. Call one out. What's your favorite in Fresno? Hino?
I'm either going
it's
Sakura Chaya or
sure.
Dude, you guys been to Edo Ya?
Yeah.
Edo Ya is number one,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm
That's
gonna go to
number
Hino.
one.
Hino's my
I'd say that's
spot.
number one.
What's your number one?
Without a doubt. Their fried rice is the best.
No. Edo Ya.
Mm-hmm.
Edo Ya.
Have you been there?
No.
And-
We'll
It's not-
take you.
you're
there.
not taking
We will
I'll
take you
try it
there.
though. We'll try it.
Yes.
You got to try it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so you like Murph. You're like, yo, if a teppanyaki spot said, hey, come here, Murph. We're gonna shoot a commercial of you cooking up, slicing and dicing, doing the little onion volcano,
Yeah.
and you're throwing eggs into your hat and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we'll pay you. We'll just give you free meals for the year.
I'm there.
Done. It's
Simple.
that
It's
easy.
that
I'm
easy.
creating
I'm
business
done.
deals right
Yeah.
now. Is that your only shooting your shot? You only want the teppanyaki? You got no other
I
brands?
really don't even know, just because like I'm not huge on like knowing like what I want or like NIL deals and stuff
Totally.
like that. So to me, it's really like whoever wants to give me a deal or wants me to partner with them, I'm happy to do.
Money
it.
talks.
Yeah, money talks. So I'm
Money
happy to be
talks.
there.
And it's loud right now.
Yeah.
Tommy, what do you got?
I'm going Hino.
Wait, so we're
We're going
only
Hino. I'm going
pigeonholing our NIL opportunities
Teppanyaki
to
places.
teppanyaki places?
Yep. It's probably why we're not getting into it.
So Murph is going to sign with Edo Ya, and you're going to sign with Hino,
Yep.
and that is the Fresno State baseball NIL deals for 2024.
teppanyaki.
I'm with that.
Hey, I'm a simple man, bro. I'm with you guys. Free fried rice and unlimited of that teppanyaki.
I'll be there every day.
Every day.
Every day.
It's
That's
undefeated.
easy gains right there.
It's easy gains. Are you in the point where like, are you trying to gain weight right now in sports, or like you trying to maintain?
I'm trying to maintain right now.
Yeah.
I went up, I think, during the summer about 15 pounds, so I set it like 230. Now I'm trying to stay around 225. Yeah,
Swole.
yeah. Just trying to stay big. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Fill the sleeves out.
Fill the sleeves out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Do a couple
Flex
curls.
little bit, hit the curls, bench a little bit.
Get that vein popping. I get you.
The veins pop a little bit here and there.
Tommy, what about you?
I'm just trying to maintain.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about 215, 210. Just trying to stay in there
I
for
love
the
that.
season.
What is so? Out of the few baseball guys I've had on the pod, one thing we've discussed in the past is when is the right time to consider going to the next level? And everyone's had a different answer. I think everyone internally has a plan. I think God has a plan too. And I know baseball rules as far as how the draft works is a little different than other sports. But like anybody, we all have plans until, we get punched in the face, or we all have plans until the timing doesn't work out, or injuries occur, or, you have a breakout year, right? And I don't know, like, Murph, did you expect, obviously you got to know you're the best, but like, did you expect to be the Mountain West Freshman of the Year? Like, was that the goal going into it?
I had no clue.
That's what I'm saying.
I was just really playing, just having fun playing the game I love.
Right. Keep your head down and work.
Keep your head down, work, stay humble. Good things happen.
Clip that. I love that, but I would love to know your guys' insight and your mental perspective on just like talking to your family internally, knowing, hey, I have an opportunity to get drafted this year. Is this the year to go? Tommy, what about you? Have you had to have that conversation?
I mean, I had it last year.
Sure. Take me through it.
Like what part of it? Like the
just
whole...
take me through, like, you had the year.
I mean, it's just a process, like you go through the workouts for teams, they invite you out, you have all the Zoom calls, all the questionnaires you got to fill out, and like sitting down for the draft and watching it's pretty stressful, like taking phone calls.
So you enter the draft no matter what.
I mean, you don't enter it, it's just you're in.
You could get drafted.
Yeah, it's not like football where you enter it and you lose your eligibility. It's
right.
You're just in there regardless.
Uh-huh.
And like, I mean, taking the phone calls and just trying to find the right situation that you want. Obviously, like the money part of it, the rounds and all that stuff, and it's just mine personally didn't feel right.
Okay.
I didn't feel like it was time.
You got drafted?
No. I mean, I didn't officially get drafted, but we had the phone calls and it just didn't work out. It was just timing. I didn't feel like I was mentally ready to go and do it yet.
I get it.
And so I think, regardless of what happens this year, I think I'll be in a better position and a better opportunity will arise.
Is it a situation for you, like going into it, and answer this as much as you'd want, but going into it, is it a number game where it's like, hey, if I don't go 7th round or sooner, I'm not going to pursue it this year? Or is it like hey, I got drafted this round, but your guaranteed money is this, and your contract might look that, and you're gonna go here?
Like, I mean, mine's not money at all. I love the game. I just wanted to be in the best opportunity round wise where it'd get me to the. I mean, my biggest goal is I just want to be a big leaguer.
Yeah.
I want to play as
long
as I possibly can. And in my situation, I wouldn't have gone in a situation where I thought I would have had the best opportunity to move forward. So I just want to go as high as possibly. And I mean, the money will come if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm not really worried about that.
I say often, be an asset, not a liability.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the ways you could be an asset in certain sports is being able to play multiple positions. Do you think you have the sustainability to be able to pull off like an Ohtani from a pitching and hitting role in the big leagues, or is that part of the plan, or is that kind of just a right now thing for the most part?
I would say I just want to hit. Pitching is just something I have that I'm good at, I guess. I don't know. I personally am a hitter who pitches. That's how I think of it. And so I just try to hit as much as I can. And if they want me to pitch, I'll go out there and pitch.
Well, but that's a good tool to have in your toolbox.
For sure.
If the Milwaukee Brewers call you up and say, like, hey, Tommy, we want to take you in this round. We see value in you because we want you as a hitter. But we know if we get into a pinch, we have our pitcher that could dig us out of something. Or maybe you guys are either getting blown out or blowing someone out, and they need someone to get some burn where they're gonna be heavily involved, but at the same time you're not primarily a pitcher.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a very unique role to have in Major League Baseball. That I don't have my statistics sheet in front of me. I feel like not everybody's doing that. So
yeah, for sure.
And like, why not put that on your resume, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I want to
you want to be a big leaguer,
hitter, and if I don't know, get one of those innings where I can actually throw. So I can
strike
say I did both of them out there. But I want to be out there hitting. That's the goal.
Murf, what about you? I know you guys are a little different age-wise and on your journey-wise, and you just had a fantastic freshman year, like we kind of brushed on. And right now, I don't know how it works again with like the transfer portal or Major League Baseball, or how much people chirp to make a certain decision. But do you stay where you stand for the most part? Like, hey, I'm here to play my 4 years, or are you kind of like, hey, if I think I could be a first, second, third rounder, I'm gonna take that when drafted?
Oh, well, my biggest thing is just like playing the game and play it to a high level. So of course I want to get drafted and play at that highest level. But to me, it's like becoming the big leaguer. Say I don't get drafted my junior year, I'll come back, play a 4th year. Hopefully things are better then. If they're not, take what I get and hopefully keep playing baseball.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not too big on like, oh, if I get drafted junior year, I want this money, I want this or that. It's just playing the game.
Is that a conversation you've had though with like your family? Like, have you had to think about that yet, or is that Or are you just putting your head down and playing ball for right now?
That's just me. That's just kind of me putting my head down playing baseball. We haven't had the whole talk like, oh, if you get drafted this round, do you want to get drafted? We know I want to keep playing baseball, so that's our biggest
course.
thing.
Yeah.
Just the love of the game.
It's the love of the game. I think you guys both have. I mean, I love your perspective on it, and I love the fact how you're approaching it, taking it of, you know, it's not always a dollars game. And I also love your guys' answers too on the NIL thing, because, dude, I think it's ruining certain pieces of college sports. Maybe not baseball completely at all, but there's people who are, you know, they don't care about their education anymore. They don't care. I'm big on loyalty. I'm huge on loyalty. And to me, it's like, dude, when people aren't loyal, I remember that shit, you know? And maybe I'm not going to, you know, I'm never going to soil their name or anything like that, but you kind of, every man has that mental kind of notebook in the back of their head where you're like, hey, you know, you left us in the middle of the night, man.
Yep.
And I've talked about it, like, sports is a business. It's a cutthroat business at the end of the day. It's revolved around numbers, money, winning. If you're not doing those and creating a trend where you're elevating in the proper perspective, you're gonna either you're gonna get fired, or you're gonna get hired because you're doing things good or things bad. And you guys haven't really had to go through it, but like a lot of athletes have a point in their life where a coach talks about how much they care about you and love you, and you know, they're almost a father figure to you at a certain extent, and you know, sometimes business does what business does in high level athletics, and all of a sudden they're preaching the same exact thing to a dude with a different logo on their polo, you know, 2 weeks later. It's tough, which, you know, kind of brings me back to wrapping it up with your why, because it's not easy being a Division I athlete for a lot of reasons. One of them, obviously, you have to be physically capable. You got to be able to perform, right? If you're not, you wouldn't be there if you didn't have the talent to hit, pitch, field, run bases, whatever the hell it is that you do great. You wouldn't be there. So nobody's perfect. You hear Tom Brady, who's our GOAT in football, about the days he didn't want to work and what your mindset is. And obviously he had success long term. He's a legend, right? I think a guy who talked about at the beginning of the pod, Nick Saban, dude's a legend. He just is. It's the consistent attention to detail of chasing excellence that they used an elite mindset that propelled them day after day, leading to success ultimately, right? So my question to y'all is, on the days you don't want to work, on the days you don't want to get out of bed and run from, you know, do fast 60s or get a lift in or do BP or whatever the hell it might be, you're sore, you guys are on a losing streak, you're in a slump, you're in your dumps, what do you do to get your ass out of bed and say, I gotta go attack this right now?
Really just thinking that as a coach, it's their job to find somebody better than me that can play my position and do better. So it's like, that motivates me right there. They're out there looking for somebody. Let me give them a reason not to find somebody else.
Yes.
So, yeah. That's pretty much
I love that. Yeah.
And then, like, my motivation getting out of bed and stuff like that on, like, bad days, it's like, put on some music, start vibing out a little bit, go hit, turn the music up all the way.
What kind of music you listen to, Murf?
A lot of rap, a little bit of country, but, like, when I'm hitting, R&B.
R&B?
Big on R&B.
Yep. Who's your guy?
I'll play some Tupac, some Biggie, some Ashanti. Who else do I got on there?
A little old school in there.
Some Sierra, maybe. Just real old school.
You're smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Got it from my mom and dad.
Yeah.
So.
What about country? Who you rock with?
Morgan Wallen. Big Morgan Wallen guy, but that's like the only guy I know. Country. That's the only country singer I know.
Tommy, what's your why?
I mean, my biggest thing is I just want to work hard, you know. I always think someone out there is working harder than me, so that kind of just pushes that. But at the end of the day, I just want to be the best person I possibly can be on the field. So that's just striving for greatness, you know. Like like all the greats have always said, is just, you know, grinding out there and trying to find a way to be better. I mean, every day you're going to find something to be better at, and I think the harder days where you don't want to do it are the most rewarding days when you go out there and grind through it.
Being the best version of yourself is something that I think any human being, whether you're playing sports, used to play sports, played JV, softball, it doesn't matter. Like, You could be an accountant, a father, a mother, a freaking onion farmer, a financial advisor, a videographer, a baseball player, and every morning when you get the opportunity to wake up, you either are getting better or you're getting worse every single day. You never stay the same. And it doesn't happen overnight, but if you could brick by brick string together enough of those good days, you will eventually see progress. And, I appreciate you guys coming on the pod, man. Anything you guys want to say before I wrap it up? You guys good?
Bring the juice.
Bring the juice.
Bring the juice.
That hot shit. Guys, make sure you go out and support the baseball team this year. These guys are going to be hitting absolute dingers. Tommy's going to be throwing gas along with hitting dingers. And I couldn't be more fired up to go support y'all. I'm going to try to get you guys some teppanyaki deals. I think Edo y'all is better, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'm open.
No free shout-outs. No free shout-outs. I think that'd actually be a great Fresno event. Teppanyaki guys have a fried rice off.
Ooh.
That might be a Bring the Juice event this year. Coming to you soon. Get your pitch hot. Stay fired up. I got Tommy. I got Murf. Fresno State Baseball. Check them out. Bring the Juice. See you next week.